Ladies and gentlemen, the Double RT Boxing Show with your host, Mr. A, shall begin shortly in 5, 4, 3, 2. Thank you for tuning in. As I just said, it is the Double RT Boxing Show. I'm your host, Mr. A. Season 2, Episode 1. Thumbs up for you guys supporting Season 1 and the pilot season. Thumbs up for tuning in right now. If you're a new viewer, please become a new subscriber and let this boxing show be your show, where I'm just the host of your new boxing show. Now, this is a long overdue episode I've been wanting to do. I've been getting tied up, busy. It's the Cruiserweight edition. I've been talking about it for like a couple weeks now. Actually for a while now, more than weeks. I'm going to cover some Cruiserweight fights. I'm going to cover not the fights. I'm going to do a quick recap of what's been happening through the Cruiserweight rankings for the last 2 months, from the April 25th up until the weekend. Just to give us a quick rundown of some number 4s, number 3s, number 7s, number 13s. So that's what we do on the Double RT Boxing Show. We like to keep informed on the others, the other guys. Now, we know the Cruiserweight division is about to be dominated either by Alexander Usyk, or Murat Gassif. Murat Gassif is the, I believe, IBF and WBA champions. Usyk is the WBO and WBC. And they're getting ready to meet up in the WBSS finals to become undisputed, but they won't be the undisputed king with the crown. And when I say king with the crown, I like to include the IBF belt. The IBO. Excuse me, the IBO. I know a lot of people don't hold the IBO belt high, but hey, it's out there, and it's, people have that belt. Gennady has it. My man, Aries Landy Lara has it, or he had it. Eubank had it. Groves gave that shit up quick. But I count the belt. I count the IBO. So to me, that's like it's the soul stone. If you've seen the Infinity Stones, it's that hard one that no one really knows about. Where the hell is it? So you got those 4 belts. You get the IBO, and it'd be nice if whoever wins that undisputed goes after the IBO, because I know they both want to go to heavyweight. Now you ask, where is the IBO? We'll talk about that, because that belt was just defended on the 2nd this past weekend. So we will get into who has that missing stone. Now we're going to talk about the rankings of the Cruiserweight division. We're going to give 2 breakdowns and predictions. We're going to cover the Luke Watkins and Lawrence Okolie. And we're going to cover one of the fighters, number 14 of the, where is he at? I believe number 14 of the WBA. Bala taking on a Stay Busy fight. He's doing an 8-rounder. We're going to cover his 8-rounder. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get the predictions at the end of the video. But right now, since I figure, I am doing this video and it's Cruiserweight talk, there's been a weird Cruiserweight conversation going on of late, and that's Deontay Wilder, the WBC heavyweight champion. Yes, the same Deontay Wilder who everyone is waiting for that Anthony Joshua fight. That Deontay Wilder, the Bronze Bomber Deontay Wilder, has mentioned that he's thinking about going down to Cruiserweight after he dominates the heavyweight division, becomes undisputed champion. So what I am happy is that he did say after he becomes undisputed champion. So he still has plans of fighting Joshua and winning. Now, I don't like that idea. I think it's a stupid idea. You know, because you've seen him against the Luis Ortiz fight. When in 214, they say he was sick. That's why he got so light. But he looked pretty lean. He looked pretty lean. He don't look like he has much fat to lose. So where is he going to lose 14 to 16 pounds at? You know, how much is he going to drain himself to get down to 200? Is he going to have any power? Is he going to have any pop? You know, he's going to be a drained dude. Don't be surprised if a Gassiev power could knock him out. You know, not saying he can't knock him out of heavyweight, but you know, your average cruiserweight probably could knock him out if he's going to drop around 16 pounds. I think because he doesn't seem to have much fat to burn. He's a pretty slim, lean heavyweight as it is. You know, so now just for shits and giggles, if it is to happen, I only want to see it happen if he gets undisputed and defends each belt at least one time. But by that time, he'll be about, what, 36, 37? He's going to get fucked up at cruiserweight at that age. You know? But that's the only way I would like to see Deontay Wilder go to cruiserweight. If he gets undisputed and he defends the belt, each belt one time. Now, if he loses that fight and he wants to go to cruiserweight, I think it's going to be a bad decision on his behalf. I don't think he could afford to drop 14 to 16 pounds. I don't think he's going to lose a lot of muscle doing that because, like I said, he's a slim, pretty toned, muscular guy. He doesn't look like he doesn't have much fat to afford to lose. Now, that being said, we're going to go to the first breakdown of the night. Like I said, we're going with number 14 of the IBF, Bilal Laggoune. Like I said, now he is taking a stay busy fight against Alexander Shevlink. And this should be like I said, it's a stay busy fight. And usually when you take a stay busy fight, it's just to keep you warm, keep you active, and you win. Or Alexander Shevlink. You know, those European names are kind of always hard to pronounce if you don't know that foreign, like their vocabulary. Now he won. His last fight was in 2016, so he's inactive for going on 2 years. April 9th, 2016. So he's been inactive for 2 years. And it was back-to-back losses against Eric Shogun in 2015 and in 2016 Enrico Colin. It's the same guy who lost to is that the one who lost to Better Beef, I want to say? Yeah, he lost to Better Beef. So he's moving up to cruiserweight to fight this guy with a record of 15-6 with 1 draw, 5 KOs, and he's been knocked out 1 time. His height is 5'7". He's an orthodox fighter, and like I said, he's going against Bilal Laggoune, number 14 of the IBF. He should win this fight pretty easy. You know, he's 25 years old. Alexander's 37, a 2-year layoff. He's a ranked fighter trying to stay busy. I'd be very surprised if Bilal has any type of problem with this fight. You know, Bilal seems to have better footwork, he's faster on his feet, faster punches. Alexander punches after a couple rounds. They come from the shoulders. They get wild, slow, and loopy, 1 punch at a time. Bilal, he works behind the jab. So if anything is troubling, he can just work behind the jab, and then from there he can decide to work the body, work up and down. He does a decent body attack. Like I said, he works the head with a jab. It gets you to sucker in. He'll counter hook you. So I don't see how the slow-footed, low out punch Alexander off a 2-year layoff at 37 years old can trouble this 25-year-old cruiserweight. He's coming up in weight, so a light heavyweight coming up in weight off a 2-year layoff at the age of 37 with 2 losses that he's coming off of. So I'm going with an easy, if not knockout. But like I said, it's 8 rounds, so it's probably just a nice stay busy, work on reflexes, stay sharp. A nice unanimous decision for Bilal. And see from there what happens in his ranking. Now, moving on to the main prediction, and the main breakdown, because the prediction is going to be at the end. So stay tuned, keep on watching, and at the very end of this show, you'll find out who I pick. Now we're talking about Luke Watkins taking on Lawrence Okolie. Champion versus champion, baby. We got Lawrence Okolie, who defeated Chamberlain to become the WBO, international champion. You got Luke Watkins, who is the British Commonwealth of champion. Undefeated people. You got Luke, who's 13-0. You got Lawrence, who's 8-0. So you got a Commonwealth versus a Continental, a WBA Continental champion. And Lawrence. Luke is 28 years old. Lawrence is 25. These guys are about to hit their peaks. Lawrence is gonna have a 4-inch height advantage on him with 6'5" to 6'1". So that right there, they're both orthodox fighters. That height can be a factor in this fight. Like I said, 13-0, 8-0. Luke has 9 knockouts out of his 13 victories. Lawrence has 6 knockouts out of his 8 victories. This should be a good. It's going to be an interesting fight. And when I say interesting, you can see Lawrence is still very, very raw. He's very raw. And my thing, I like Lawrence, but what I say on him, he's going to be a very criticized fighter. He talks very confident, but he's not going to have an exciting style. And he's not going to have an exciting style. He's a mauler. He works good behind the jab, good hits. But he uses his size to wear you down. While Luke Watkins, I believe, as right now in this stage, is a better overall punch selection. He knows how to work he knows how to mix up his arsenal better than Lawrence. But I don't think he knows how to get in. He doesn't know how to do the muscle and tussle. Lawrence is real good at using his height, his weight, his forearms, setting you up with forearms to get a shot off. So it's going to be, can Luke get inside Lawrence's range to work the inside body? I think he's got to break Lawrence down. Now, how do I see this fight going? Like I said, I believe Lawrence has the better legs. He's faster on his feet. He can move. He can use the ring better. He can jab and move. While Luke, I don't believe he's going to be good at cutting the ring. I think he's going to be following him. So he's slower on the feet. So I give the feet and legs to Lawrence. Defensively, I'm probably going to give it to Luke. Even though they're both there to be hit, Luke gets hit with jabs a lot. Whether it's an offensive counter jab, a defensive counter jab, his head movements is very lacking. So I don't know. I might take that back. And Lawrence knows how. Right now at 8-0, his defense is keeping the gap with his jab and clinching. So I won't be surprised if this is another Isaac Chamberlain type match. You know, Luke Watkins, I believe, is a little taller than Isaac, so it's gonna be he won't be able to man hustle Luke around like he did Isaac, but he will be able to push Luke around, I believe. Now, offensively, like I said, I'm going with Luke on this one. At this stage in his career, I believe Okolie just has the 1-2 with a hook. He does a good body shot, but he doesn't quite control his distance yet. You know, he relies on the clinch game, wearing you out, making the ugly fight. Like I said, I believe he's going to be a very hard person to watch, Lawrence Coley, but he's going to be victorious in a lot of his fights. It's going to be like he's going to be criticized for not doing enough. I think he's going to go the same type of path of Landy Lara. Always one gear, never doing enough. He's going to be winning, but just never doing enough. So that's going to be a good fight. You got the rugged style of Lawrence Okolie, still rough. You got the better punch selection, the power of Luke Watkins. Someone's going to get knocked out. Who's going to get knocked out? Mr.A, I'll tell you at the end of the video. Now, right now, we are going to go into the rankings, and we're going to cover a little past and the past and more recent action of the Cruiserweight division. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Mr.A. Let's talk about some of these. Please subscribe. Okay, now starting from this weekend, there was 2 Cruiserweight fights on the 2nd. We had the WBC number 12 taking on number 14. Now, number 12 was Krzysztof Włodarski, the Devil. You might know him from the WBSS tournament. He beat Rob Brandt, got knocked out in the 3rd round by Gasser with the body shot. He took on Dora Dula in a nice, you could say, someone's looking to stay a little more known in the Cruiserweight division, while the loser, I guess, becomes a nice name on the resume, maybe retires, or kind of a gatekeeper type fighter. That loser was Dora Dula. He lost a unanimous 10-round decision. The first punch of the fight was a left hook by Włodarski, and it made Dora Dula's legs kind of tremble. And that same punch repeated itself in the 6th round. But the fight itself, Dora Dula never really landed a clean shot. Krzysztof was a one punch at a time type fighter, moved around the ring, avoided any God's power. So it was 2 veterans looking to stay alive. Włodarski definitely showed respect for Dora Dula's power, but he was just too nimble on his feet, too quick for the aging Dora Dula. And then also on the 2nd was the IBO showdown, which I talk about that missing stone. The IBO champion took on the IBO Intercontinental champion, Roman Golovashchenko. Now, there's no footage of it, but, you know, he dropped Roman. Kevin Lorena did. He dropped him. You know, I picked Kevin to win the fight. If you want to hear my breakdown and prediction of it, please go support the channel. Look into the archives on it. They say it was a nice inside-out fight. Kevin was able to show and outlast the power of Roman, and then put some boxing skills on him. He was able to land cleaner shots in a phone booth fight. Now, it'll be real interesting to see if the winner of the WBSS tournament goes after Kevin's belt to get that final jewel on the crown to be really the king of the cruiserweight division, considering they both wanted to go up. Now, that being said, we're going to go back to April, where the WBO European champion was crowned Masternak. He defeated Yuri Laggoune in the rematch. Masternak did what he did in moments of the first round. He hit and moved. He didn't engage in a war with Yuri this time, and he was just able to land the cleaner shots, move around the ring, land more clean shots. And leading up to this fight, Masternak was sparring with Shlucky, who was getting ready for Daniel Jacobs, and you saw the way Shlucky was popping off shots, moving, and Masternak copied that same style, and it helped him be victorious as well. So that was in April. And then we jumped to the month of May. In May, we saw 2 cruiserweight fights on May 11th and May 12th. Now, May 11th was Tabiti, Andrew Tabiti, the WBC number 4 and the IBF number 3. He's also the NABF and the USBA cruiserweight champion, North America and United States champion. He fought Latif Coyote. Not much of this fight is out there, and not much. I don't believe many people saw in the States themselves saw it. It was on a Bounce TV, and not many cable networks have that channel. But my prediction is up as well on this fight. If you wanted to hear what I thought about it, I felt Andrew needed a knockout badly to stay on the tip of tongues of people, because as his competition has gotten up there, his knockout has dramatically decreased. He's winning off speed and clinching, a lot of clinching. So he did stop Coyote, but like I said, it's not much footage of it. And even what was reported it was still an ugly clinching fight. But yet, we're just here to report on what has been happening in the movement of the rankings here. So again, Andrew Tabiti, number 4 for the WBC and number 3 for the IBF, was victorious. And then the following day, on the 12th, was Krzysztof Glowacki. Now, he's the one who really shook up the cruiserweight division by defeating Marco Huck. And in doing so, he took the belt from the long reigning defending champion. Then Usyk beat him, and now the belts are all over the place. So Glowacki was weird. He knocked his opponent out in 1 round, but I don't know if it was a dive. Was it a grazing temple shot? You guys go watch it. Leave a comment on what you think of that fight. Like I said, it was a 1 round hitter quitter dive, grazed temple shot. I don't know what it was, but it just did not. It wasn't really much to say. A couple fill out punches here and there. The guy gets tagged by some type of left hook, and he goes down and can't get up. So Glowacki wins on that. And then also on that May was May the 19th. 5/9/18, the 19th. Firat Arslan. This guy is a tricky one. He's number 3 by the WBO and number 14 by the WBA. 47 years old. Not sure. He's picking his fights carefully. Like I said, and in winning this fight, he didn't have an opponent until like the 12th, and the fight was the 19th. But he won the fight with a first round knockout himself and became the WBO Intercontinental champion. And he's already had another scheduled fight for the June 16th for the Global Boxing Union against Pascal Ndumba. So I'll let you know what type of fighter he fought in Isaac Ankara for the WBO Intercontinental. And then also on June 2nd was Arthur Mann. He was supposed to fight the WBO number 12, because Arthur Mann is number 7. So that was supposed to be a really good, interesting fight, number 7 versus number 12. And Arthur Mann is the WBO International. Farhat is the Intercontinental. But Mickey Nelson, number 12, pulled out. Mann went on and fought Pal, like a 156th rank. He won a unanimous decision, 12-round decision. The fight is uploaded. It's a little rangy. It's from a long range fight, but you can clearly see Mann landed the cleaner shots, controlled the rhythm, had the harder shots, landed the uppercuts, worked behind the giant better. Nothing too. He had Pal on the back foot. He can just completely control the whole fight. And like I said, that is just your nice, quick little recap of what has happened in the Cruiserweight division over the last 2 months. Mr.A here, trying to keep the audience involved, up to date on the rankings. Like I said, we went over a breakdown of Miguel Laggoune coming up on June 29th. He should easily defeat Alexander Chavesky. He should easily defeat that in an 8-round warm-up, I say by unanimous decision. And then also the breakdown we did, Luke Watkins and Lawrence Okolie. Now, who was my prediction on that one? Please subscribe, hit the thumbs up, share the video, do whatever you got to do to help this channel grow. Let it become your #1 boxing show. Now, my prediction, by knockout, Lawrence Okolie. Thank you for your time and support. Stay tuned in.